The dogs charge, and the wildebeest bolt. A young calf is keeping pace with the herd.
The dogs have incredible stamina. But the calf is defended by the herd.
A lioness on the bull's flank bolts from cover. The bull charges, and the rest of the pride closes in. A lioness gallops alongside the bull, then the others move in closer, surrounding him. A male lion is bulldozed by the great horns and trampled. Females keep up the chase as the male recovers. The goose flaps and rises in the air as the fox approaches, then chases it off.
The wildebeest scatter as the lioness charges. She chases a lone animal, but the wildebeest has by far the better acceleration. Another wildebeest startles as she appears from cover, but likewise makes its escape. She finally makes contact, sinking her claws into her wildebeest's flanks, bringing it to the ground with a crash. The animal's momentum causes the pair to spin through a full circle, but the lioness maintains her grip, now sinking her teeth into the wildebeest's neck and holding it tight to the ground to avoid injury from flailing hoof and horn.
Everyone races to get a mouthful. But before the females get a morsel of meat, the cub's father Atlas comes bounding in. The lionesses give way. This is the price they pay for child protection. Atlas puts on a forceful display of dominance, but despite his snarls, he is allowing his cubs to eat. Django. The impala can cover 30 feet in a single leap and match the dogs for speed. But the dogs are agile, working as a team, communicating and adapting as they hunt. Using chaos as a weapon, all they need is to push one out into the open. But the hunters need to work quickly. The further the hunt takes them, the troop moves in on his location. A small monkey scurries off a vine into the forest. She's begun to add to Nadine's life. Nadine and the baby wrestle and play tag. They're not only sisters, they're best friends. Nadine turns the baby upside down and gnaws gently at her back. Jackson patrols as the other chimps groom. But an alpha can never show weakness. The chimps flock to Jackson. He breaks into a sprint. Jackson disturbs another adult up from their resting spot. It's home. Juvenile chimps climb and swing from tree branches. Others share a round green fruit. Two juvenile chimps fall off a log, then chase each other. The baby stays close to its mother. Whatever that is, Surf wants in on it. Surf
uses pester power, grabbing at the fish and harassing his mother. She finally relents.
Spruce lets him have some. Reluctantly.
The bear cub chams enthusiastically, if not terribly deftly, on the slippery morsel.
Titan isn't taking no for an answer, though. She's got to stand her ground and fight back.
They tussle in the water, mouthing each other but not seeming to draw blood.
Underneath, towards the trilobite.
All the trilobite can do is try to stay out of reach.
The Camarasaurus floats back, withdrawing its tentacles from underneath the rock. The trilobite, squeezed into a crack in the rock, cautiously crawls back out. Suddenly, several tentacles are upon it. The Camarasaurus pulls it out. A third lizard scurries over to the battle. It snaps its jaws onto one of the other lizard's tails and swings it around like a lasso. Both lizards twist and grapple and tumble into the water.
It's the chance he's been waiting for.
He starts to follow her, and the other male barges him.
He has a rival.
They face off.
This time, they're evenly matched.
The two males shove and barge each other. The beetle pauses, closing its serrated mandibles. The piece of bark flies into the air as the spider pounces. The beetle scrambles to try to get away. Looking around, the older bird notices a Smilodon and runs away. The Smilodon pounces on the younger bird and bites its neck.
The Smilodon's mammalian cunning was one reason terror birds went extinct.
A second Smilodon assists with the kill. The Deinonychuses stay on the Archensaurus's tail as they run along a dirt path past tall red rocky outcrops. The Archensaurus kicks one of the Deinonychuses away, but the three Deinonychuses surround it, and one jumps onto its back. Exhausted, the Archensaurus falls onto its side.
Their terrible claws bring a swift end to the exhausted Archensaurus.
The Deinonychuses feed.
There are no second chances.
Wildebeest line up at the bank's edge. Dust clouds rise as the wildebeest clamber down the embankment. One after the other, they reach the ground. And charge for the river. She raises her head. A guanaco looks her way. A call goes out and the guanaco run. Rupestra gives chase. To see.
He needs a vantage point if he wants to surprise them from above.
A grey rock stands above the water's surface.
But this prime spot from which to hunt is prized. And an older, more experienced male, Ursa, wants the rock for himself.
Ursa swims towards the rock. The two male bears meet at the rock. They fight.
One of the cubs slides in the snow, then paws at Luna's snout. As Luna looks on, her two cubs wrestle in the snow.
But for the baby turtles, the call of the ocean is irresistible.
A baby turtle crawls across the sand. Birds swoop down from above. The dorsal fin. The lions devour the fallen elephant.
Without the entire herd's protection, the lions overwhelm their prey. The drought, an endless search for food and water.
The wildebeest spot her, then bolt. She darts toward the herd. She singles out a small wildebeest, then closes in on it. She drags it to the ground, then sinks her fangs into its throat.
But the Lechway, no deeper water, could be a lifesaver.
The wild dogs bound through the water. They chase the herd. More fish swarm around it.
Full of danger.
The cuttlefish glides to the side. A fish with striped amber eyes stares from behind seaweed.
What he discovers in the coming months will shape his whole life.
The baby clings to the adult chimp's back.
But a little courage gets the job done.
A kara bites at a small wasp's nest. It swats one of the wasps away.
If one kara can take the pain, eventually the wasps abandon the nest.
A panda bear cub squirms and turns its head.
But cubs aren't born with the skills to survive. They need to be taught.
A cub falls over a branch.
So a mother bear.
In the open, they can hit top speed.
The reindeer sprint ahead of the wolves. The black wolf goes after a reindeer separated from the rest of the herd. The other reindeer head into a wooded area.
But among the trees, deep snow bogs them down.
One antelope takes a step back. The lioness runs at them. A pair of antelopes flee.
Tricky. In broad daylight.
The entire herd runs as the lioness nears.
And to her senses, it lights up like a magnetic beacon in the wilderness.
The coppery light waves underwater. The hammerhead shark swims onward. Various fish swim nearby.
Pollinators, tree planters,
A rattlesnake sits coiled.
even pest controllers.
The tortoise moves past the snake. A mouse flees. The tortoise blinks.
The cooler weather has heralded the start of the boxing season. And Buru is keen to join in. There are several moves to be mastered. There's headlocks, wrestling, and grappling with extremely sharp claws. But a kangaroo's ultimate weapon is the most difficult to master. Their powerful kicks can break bones.
They jump and kick out with both hind legs airborne, targeting their opponent's undersides.
Buru is finding that landing kicks take strength and balance.
He stumbles. 3 kangaroos tussle.
At his age, Buru is just practicing his skills.
Buru fights playfully with his mother.
But one day, he will need to leave the mob and fight to become the dominant buck.
Then continues on. She approaches her 4 furry cubs. A cub tumbles onto the mother puma. She licks the cub's face.
With danger roaming in the darkness, she cannot risk leaving them alone.
A cub tumbles onto the mother puma. More hatchlings crawl up from the sandy nest. Scores of hatchlings flap on the sand. The ocelot jumps. Both animals fall. The ocelot catches on a tree branch. She dangles above the water, holding the flapping bird in her jaws. They fall into the water. The lioness lies obscured by tall grass as wildebeest run past her. The lioness rises and gives chase. She wraps her front paws around a wildebeest. It bucks. The lioness brings the herbivore to the ground. She sinks her teeth into its neck. The wildebeest thrashes, but the lioness holds firm.
It's time to hit the town.
Scores of macaques swarm down from the temple and cross a busy road.
700 strong. This is one of the largest troops of monkeys in the world. 10 times the size of a wild macaque troop.
Dozens of macaques sit on either side of a bustling street.
The secret to their success is switching to a 24/7 existence.
A group of macaques darts across the street. A handful of them jump into the back of a pickup truck, then leap away with stolen produce.
They know there are easy pickings to be had after dark. They also get a helping hand.
A man empties a bag of produce outside the temple. A male monkey sits on a fence and gnaws at a piece of food.
Monkeys are sacred around here.
A man on a motor scooter slows near a pack of the monkeys and scatters food from a bag. A young monkey climbs up a security shutter.
The mob run riot through the city, taking everything and anything on offer.
2 sons and a daughter. Only 4 weeks old.
The one in the bush growls, scrunching its upper lip. The 3 cubs lie in a bed of grass, with eyes just open. One tumbles and pouts when the time is right. The cub pounces and pins his brother down.
It's early days, but with enough practice, one day they'll be ready to take down a buffalo.
Kaya chews on a branch.
But if Kaya doesn't get stuck in...
He climbs higher up in the tree. Chico tries to pluck a green-skinned fruit from a bunch on a branch.
It's breeding season, and he would kill a cub to mate with the female.
The male bear draws closer, then suddenly stops.
The fiercely protective mum springs into action.
Bruce's mother chases the male.
It's a brave move. The male could easily overpower her.
He strides fast, keeping his distance.
It's exhausting.
On top of a ruined wall, monkeys wrestle. One of them hangs from a tree branch. Amma climbs onto a rock and sits alone.
But it's not just about missing a mum's love and protection. Babies inherit their mother's rank. And as an orphan, Amma struggles to be included.
The troop of monkeys ignores her.
To groom her, or to care for her.
Another monkey walks.
No one wants anything to do with her.
Looking down, Amma picks at moss on the ruined wall. The rest of the troop walks. She watches as Mina climbs a branch by herself.
It's just a small win for Mina.
Mina pulls up with tiny arms.
Hardly the freedom of the forest.
Her mother plucks a nearby red fruit. The other pups jump onto adults' backs.
The relationships between his sisters and their mentors grow stronger every day.
One adult submits to the pups,
as does their confidence.
The mongoose pups hop in the grass. They leap onto the adults' backs.
Play fighting is how the pups learn self-defense.
One pup pins another to the ground.
And Keto is missing out.
Keto watches the other pups wrestle. One falls onto his back and and the two others scurry off, one chasing the other.